Then I'm less hunched and I look less awkward. Like
what up, Patreon?
What up? Thanks again for supporting the channel. We appreciate you guys so much. We're going to get better and better about having a little bit of like pre-show for you guys.
Something I sent you there.
Yeah, we're not sure. We're drinking whiskey, as you can see.
It's really good.
I am using the official Rotten Potatoes glass that Jake got us for Christmas a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's a 5 of 5. Or 1 of 5, I mean.
1 of 5. I gotta be honest with you. I looked for mine the other day. I don't know what happened to it.
1 of 4.
I know.
Well, what
That's not
happened
true.
is-
There's just one out there somewhere.
What Dan was the other one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Dan was
dead.
the other one. He's dead.
Was his soul in like
that
a
was-
custody
onto his
sale or
family.
That
something?
was
His
bequeathed
family
to
has
his
it.
children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
His kids drink out of it every day to remember him. They get drunk.
And-
For our supporters, Remy, our general counsel, who you guys are helping us to pay his legal fees, which are tremendous. So thank you. But he sent us a podcast because a couple of us talked about that we would prefer the darker version of Groundhog Day. And he sent us a podcast of a bunch of like fan fiction all kind of read together that was like essentially the script of Groundhog Day done darker. And I appreciate it so much that I'm going to put it on Patreon just for you guys. Like just a little, hey, here's a little recommendation. Go check this out. I will say it's very dark. Have you guys listened to it
I
yet?
haven't yet, but I'm planning to.
Are we allowed to put not our own content on Patreon?
I'll just link to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Is there
I'm
a
not
free
gonna
tier?
rip it as like our content.
Is there a free tier, or like can we just like throw it? Do it?
Yeah, we can
Oh.
just post things publicly. So maybe that's what I'll do is I'll post it publicly and just say like, "Hey, this is from Remy." But thank you guys for paying his legal fees because he's doing as much work as any tot right now.
Yeah, he
So-
sent us one podcast. That's about all he's done so far, but
Yeah, but I mean,
No, he
he's
gave us
charged us quite a bit.
he gave us a really good legal breakdown. Actually, we didn't ever talk about this.
Tokyo Drift.
Of Tokyo Drift. He gave us a really good breakdown of Han's
how-
estate law.
how Bama Boy inherited the show.
Right. Yeah. Which was, according to Remy, legally dubious. So
Yeah, I mean they're all legally dubious already.
I can't say we're surprised.
Yeah.
We have a couple other tots that are involved now too, though.
We do.
They're running
Jake.
our-
Oh yeah, my sisters are Molly and Kimberly are running our Instagram, and I don't know if they're doing anything with our Twitter. I don't know if I told them that we have a Twitter. I should tell them that.
I would
Or-
say let's not. Let's
Yeah.
let's get one right.
Soon to be just X.
It's already X.
It's already X,
I refuse to call it that.
Yeah, me too.
But,
Me too.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job. I appreciate the work they're putting in. So
Yeah,
if
and
you
they're
see a post,
significantly cheaper than Remy.
they're free. They'll make money if we make money. But if you see a post and it looks better than anything we've done for the last 4 years, it's because we're not doing it.
So
I do kind of miss the crudely pasted faces over like scenes of the movie. Those are
Yeah.
some of my favorites.
I think that was more work than any of us wanted to do.
one last thing before we jump into this episode, just to give you guys a little bit more, I guess a look into how the sausage is made. I think all of us are probably yelling right now because we're all talking into microphones, wearing headsets that are all muted.
Yeah, none of them are.
We can't hear ourselves.
None of them are to the thing that's recording.
None of them are going to you guys, but we also can't hear each other right now. But we have headphones on.
Yeah. So
There you go. And that's how we do the whole
You
pod.
You got to do the 1 year off.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Oh.
doing.
I do the 1 year off during all sessions. I would yell during our regular recordings if I had both ears on.
Really?
It's how I play Xbox. It's how I do everything. I just have to have
Interesting.
a little bit of outside.
You have to have external reference
I
for
can't.
your own
I
voice.
feel like
I
I
can't
would
moderate
be
my
way
volume.
softer if I was doing that.
Yeah.
It's how I'm comfortable now.
All right, well, we're going to jump into this next one.
I don't even remember this.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Rotten Potatoes, a podcast where four friends sit down and review movies that you absolutely should have seen already, but at least one of us hasn't. My name is Scott, and I'm here with three of my best friends in the entire world.
My name is Jake.
My name is Zach.
I'm Tyler, and I just gotta say, Scott, I appreciate how well you nailed the intro on that one.
Oh, thanks.
It was perfect.
Yeah, because sometimes I say it wrong.
I think I'm the only one who says it consistently every week.
Last
Every week that I do it, I should say. So
Mhm.
every month, my spiel is exactly the same every time. And Jake's and Zach's for sure are always different.
last week, I was so thrown off by the fact that we didn't get the clip that I thought we were going to get. I couldn't think about anything else.
But you nailed it.
My trick is I'm focused more on this than what I'm saying, and
Right.
so it's just muscle memory.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. So that works for you.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
Like, I could have said it wrong and I wouldn't have known.
You could be saying it wrong every time and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, well, I said it wrong for a long time. I kept saying haven't instead of hasn't.
I don't know why you said that. I think.
I would say a movie you absolutely should have seen already, but one of us haven't.
Okay.
But it should be hasn't.
Never noticed you saying that.
Pretty much everything pre this season, it was haven't.
I'm gonna can we get a supercut maybe of all of our intros?
Yeah, we could probably do that.
We can, but will we?
Probably not.
That sounds like something Molly and Kimberly can work on.
You know what? They're working for free, and so I'm not going to ask them to.
We're not gonna task them with work.
143
Maybe,
intros.
maybe Claire.
She did reach out and say she wanted to take over our Instagram now.
How did she not notice that it's been taken over?
Well, it's probably because she saw activity on it again, and she was like, "Oh, they are wanting this again."
But it's like it's good activity though. So like I feel like that smacks of not us.
I will say Claire did just drop us some pretty good sample art.
I think we leave it with your sisters, but they can make requests of Claire to make stuff for it.
Here's what I like about it though, is that your sisters are doing it free of charge.
Yeah.
And no negotiation necessary. Claire is still negotiating shout outs and phone calls.
Yeah, and
She
you know
wants
what?
to be spotlighted on the podcast.
No, I'm sorry. We need to stop doing any shout outs because people are paying for shout outs, hopefully, at some point. So we need to stop doing shout outs.
Oh, by the way,
For
we do
free.
have one shout out we wanted to do for Jordan. She had
She's got to pay for it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
she is someone that we used to work with. She was listening to the Barbenheimer episode back when it released a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And she cracked up and she was dying laughing when I played Zach off. Remember, I played it. She was like, "That was the best." I was like, yeah, I agree.
That was not the best for me.
Hey, do you want to know what that was a result of, Jordan? We were past Scott's bedtime.
Oh man. Well, Scott, we are fully deep in the greatest saga of all time.
Yeah, we have less movies to go than we've already watched.
Fewer.
Yeah, fewer to go.
Or less. That's the same.
No, that's wrong.
Concept.
Less is wrong.
I think less is incorrect.
Less is for continuous values, and fewer is for discrete values.
I mean, to be fair, Jake, we have no idea how many more
Yeah.
Fast movies will exist.
But it will be a discrete number.
Eventually.
They'll all be whole.
Eventually.
There won't be a continuous
But it's not discrete yet.
No, it is.
The limit does not exist, Jake.
But it's all whole numbers. Every one of them.
Well, this is whole number 6 in the
Yeah.
saga.
Fast and Furious 6.
And this is before we have another really jarring name change, correct?
Yeah, next time it's going to be Furious 7.
Which I feel like it sounds just like a Western. Like if
Yeah,
we were
it
to
does.
watch a Western
Yeah,
called
it sounds
Furious
like
7.
Magnificent 8.
Yeah.
Magnificent 7, you mean?
Magnificent.
Is it 7?
Yeah, there's Hateful Eight.
Hateful
But
Eight.
those are like that classic Western naming right there.
Yeah.
So what is this one? This one was Fast and Furious.
Fast
6?
ampersand Furious 6.
This is 6 Fast, 6 Furious.
6F, 6F.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how we've just kept the naming convention
Yeah.
from Too Fast, Too Furious.
Do you want to know why that's better than what they're doing?
Why?
Because it's consistent.
Yeah, the last one was Fast 5. Then before that it was Fast ampersand Furious, but it was the third one. Then it was
Tokyo Drift.
Too Fast. Oh yeah, it was Fast and not ampersand Furious. Tokyo Drift. Then it was Too Fast, Too Furious, and then it was The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Which is almost identical to the fourth title, just without the fourth title just didn't have the does. And then we end up with Fast 9, the Fast Saga.
Yeah.
But that's the dumbest title I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Then we have Furious 7. Then we have The Fate of the Furious.
But it's not
But there's-
F8. It's
yeah.
FATE.
There's
I didn't know that.
There's
I
no-
thought it was F8.
No. They really mess up. That. Sorry, go ahead.
And then there's Fast X.
Yeah.
Is this more confusing than the Rambo titles?
Yes.
I will say after Fast X, they're continuing Roman numerals. The next one's going to be Fast XI, and the next one after that's going to be Fast XII.
Too little, too late. I think.
Also, yeah, like the Rambo titles are a little bit confusing, but I think they make sense when you think about it because it's like Rambo First Blood Part 2. So that it's a sequel to First Blood, but then there's another movie.
But First Blood isn't the first one.
It's not?
I don't think so.
I thought First Blood was the first one.
I think First Blood is the second one.
What's the first? Is the first one just called Rambo?
Yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't
Oh.
Yeah,
First
I was gonna
Blood
say
is a
like the way
prequel?
that Jake said it seems too clear cut than what.
I'll be honest,
I could be wrong.
No,
Don't
you're
quote me.
probably right because I've only seen the first Rambo and I thought that was called Rambo First Blood the entire time.
Is
So
it?
no, it's the first one is just called First Blood. It's not even called Rambo.
Oh, okay.
And then it's Rambo First Blood Part 2. And then it's just Rambo 3.
Yeah.
And then Rambo.
Yeah.
And then Rambo Last Blood.
Yeah.
yeah.
Last Blood?
Yeah.
Last Blood.
There's Rambo Last Blood.
I didn't know about
Blood
that.
nominates all the Rambos next year.
I'll think about it. I think we've all seen First Blood, I assume.
I've
I
never
have.
seen it.
Oh,
Well,
all
I've
right.
never seen
I think they're all available.
I've never seen all of it. So
I-
I think that counts.
I will nominate First Blood next year, probably.
I've seen one of them. I don't know which one, and I couldn't tell you a single plot point for it. So I feel like I'm at the point where any of them are available.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't. It's been so long since I've seen them. I don't hate Rambo, but I will say my favorite one is by far the cheesiest one. It's Rambo 3.
I've only seen First Blood.
When he has a warhead tipped bow and arrow,
Awesome.
it's so awesome. It's so bad. He takes down a Russian helicopter with a bow and arrow, and it's amazing.
I would
It
pay to
was-
watch that scene.
It was so good. It was so good that have you guys ever seen like Hot Shots or Delta Farce or any of those?
I haven't.
It makes like a recurring that motif of the warhead tipped arrows like comes up in multiple spoofs.
I can see why. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I just remember his acting and dialogue being atrocious. That's all I remember.
I mean, I don't know that his acting is bad whenever he's delivering dialogue. His acting is good whenever he's just doing Rambo stuff, which is most of the movie.
And here's the thing: when
There's
I'm
very
watching
little
Rambo,
dialogue.
There's very
yeah,
little.
when I'm watching Rambo, I want Rambo stuff. I don't
Uh-huh.
care about anything Rambo has to say. I just want
Yeah.
to see Rambo.
I
do
think it
Rambo
was
stuff.
still more dialogue than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly,
It is.
but still like maybe 5 minutes.
You know, Tuco talks a lot in that movie.
But it's still dialogue per minute pretty low.
Yeah, because the movie's like 17 hours.
Seems a little
I
high.
love that Jake is still defending this movie.
Can I tell you guys something?
4 seasons later.
Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah.
Well, I have to defend it because you guys keep trashing on me. For
Yeah.
it. And it's my favorite movie. Do you want to know something?
It's your favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, I have not watched it since we did it because I can't think about it. I can't think about the episode we did, and I've not watched it since. I have a poster in my house of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and I look at it, and sometimes I get sad.
That brings me a little bit of joy.
Wow.
It's still wild to me that it is your favorite movie.
I
That's
love
a
it.
big oof for me.
Really love it.
And you know what? As we've gone on, I will say I do love the recurring bit. I'm sorry that it brings you pain. I think it's a funny recurring bit. I think I would watch it again, and I'm guessing I would probably rate it higher.
Oh, I thought you were going to say lower for sure.
No.
I seriously doubt I would rate it higher.
I think it just like if we can make a case for giving us money for this, it's that we ruined my favorite movie for me. So
For this podcast.
please give me $5 a month.
Jake
On
has
Patreon.
sacrificed
Yeah.
so greatly for this podcast. We're asking just a small.
I have been unable to spend 3 hours and 15 minutes of my life watching that movie again.
All right, so tier 1 on Patreon is going to be pay for Jake's counseling.
But the thing is, the twist is that Scott is the one giving me the counseling, and we'll record that and put it up.
And like I keep like doing like backhanded like questions at you that really like poke at
All about
Right.
the
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to watch it again to do this.
Or Spirited Away. No, I wouldn't, because I know all the dialogue. It's zero.
What about the score though? Can I
Just
listen to this?
whistle.
This is one of the most iconic movie scores of all time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fight.
Just a whistle.
There's no whistling in the movie. Oh, there's a very brief. I guess it's a whistle. I don't know what it is.
It's a flute of some kind.
Yeah.
But we are going to be talking about Fast and Furious 6, which none of us have seen, correct? We were all
Yeah, I
late
think
to this
all
one.
of us were late bloomers for the
I'm-
rest of them.
I'm a late bloomer on every single one.
I thought, Zach, you had watched an advanced one. Was that 5?
He's watched 4.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're now all in virgin territory together.
Yeah, all until we get to 10, which you've already
Which I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can't get whenever it's 2027. That's coming back to the pod.
You're doing it.
I'm doing Fast 10 at that point.
So a question about this before we dive in. Am I right in thinking that this is the Fast and Furious community's least favorite movie? That's what I've gathered.
6?
That's-
No.
That's
that's-
not true.
That's been a lot of consensus that I've received.
Yeah, what I've heard from people who like it and what I've read online is this is the worst one.
That lines up with a lot of the conversations I've had.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Are-
makes. I mean, it's on IMDb. It's rated higher than a lot of the following ones.
I asked Carlos, who is my resident Fast and Furious guy, and he told me that he can't defend this movie.
Seriously,
I said, "What are your thoughts?" And he said, "I can't defend this one."
that's so wild. If you look at Fast 8 and Fast 9, they're significantly lower.
He said he can't defend anything. He said he can't defend this movie. He likes 7 and can't defend anything after.
I think
Okay.
everyone universally loves 7.
Sure.
7's the highest rated one.
My understanding was like 5, 6, and 7 is the sweet spot,
Right.
Mhm.
and that 6 is a little bit of a dip
Yeah.
from the 2 that it is in the middle of.
That's at least
But
what.
that not 6 is the least enjoyed one.
I think it's because people loved 5 so much and loved 7 so much that 6, the dip, it's a pretty tremendous dip.
It's interesting. What sometimes I'll do is I'll go to Google and I'll type in a movie and then just put Reddit so that I'm able to see some people online, their opinions. And I came across quite a few posts where people were saying how much they loved this movie.
Dude, can I tell you something crazy?
What?
Reddit has a search bar. You can just type the name of the movie in Reddit.
Yeah, but also what I do right now is also just as effective.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like
would say that
you're
when I
just-
open- When I open
You're
my
outsourcing.
laptop, I'm already on Google Chrome. So right there.
I just feel like you're outsourcing to Google something you could just get all in one place.
To be fair, I can almost promise you that Reddit is also outsourcing to Google for their search function.
I can promise you they're not because it's terrible.
So
I was
now
thinking that-
confessing is that Zach's idea is better.
No, yeah, I wanted to make that joke at Zach, but I just wanted to give you a hard time.
Oh man. Well, Scott, why don't you hit us with a little bit of just the facts about this movie?
Yeah, so this was directed by Justin Lin, written by Chris Morgan and Gary Scott Thompson, released May 24th, 2013, runtime of 130 minutes. Rotten Tomatoes give it a 71%. IMDb gave it a 7, so not very often do they like score really close to each other, but they kind of agree on this one. Box office of 788 million, pretty big box office, on a budget of 160 million. Pretty big budget, but
Wow.
a return about 5x on that, and of course was not nominated for any awards. I could just leave those out of any time we review these movies.
Any more fast
Yeah.
movies? Yeah.
You know what, Scott? For this, I would allow you to put Teen Choice Awards.
I
would
think
accept
I
that.
would too, or MTV Awards.
Yeah.
How many
I'm
Teen
good.
Choice Awards was this nominated for?
I bet you a lot.
Probably 12. Yeah.
I like to think that this movie is like the Return of the King of the Teen Choice Awards.
I think Jake was still a teen when this came out.
What year did this come out?
so. He was
2013?
still
Oh
watching.
yeah, I was still in high school.
He was still watching the Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah, Jake would have voted for this.
I've never watched an award show in my life.
Really?
Jake was a
Yeah.
part of the voting body.
Yeah. Did you vote
the
though?
Teen Choice
Yeah.
Awards.
No, the only thing I've called in to vote for is American Idol.
Would you have voted for this to get put in the Library of Congress of Teens?
Yeah.
Is that a Congress of Teens?
Yeah. And they
Okay.
have their own library.
So me as congressman, I'm not in the Congress of Teens.
No, you
obviously.
are.
Is this
But
sort
I'm
of
27.
No, I'm saying back then.
Oh, okay.
That's how
Yeah,
you
you
like
were a
built
part
up
of
your
the
platform.
Congress.
As Lord of the Dance, you were easily elected.
I see.
Was Jake also removing films from the
yeah,
Congress
at
of
the
Teens?
time. At the time was he removed?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly 80s movies though, because I don't really like them.
Scott, is the Congress of Teens, is this like a Model UN type situation?
It is.
Is that how they get
Uh-huh.
into Congress? So like just students from every school are
Yeah.
just selected.
Totally. They have like mock trial, and then they also have Congress of Teens Club.
Guys,
Okay, got it.
I'm kind of shifting gears, but what tier of
We're
Patreon?
making
do you
Jake out to
think-
sound like a really cool teenager.
I was not. What tier of Patreon do you think we need to get me to run an actual congressional campaign? Like, really try to do it.
I think it would be very high.
Yeah,
But
but I
mean,
think we should
it's
put
not
it.
that we would have to change our tiers. It's just we'd have to get a lot of people at the top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think right now our top tier is only limited to 3 seats.
What?
Wait, really?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that we were limiting any of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's limited.
I think it's
Did you
I-
limit it?
I
No.
haven't looked at all. I still haven't been given the login for Patreon, so I haven't looked.
yeah. Remy also told us we can't give it to you.
It sucks.
He after we aired the like. Zach
Does he know that I'm a
couldn't have it.
congressman?
That's why.
I was
why.
going to say,
Yeah,
that's got
that's
to be
why.
why.
Is it a conflict of
It's
interest?
a conflict of
yeah.
interest,
Oh, okay.
so we can't. Yeah.
Is it a conflict of interest that I'm on the podcast?
No, but it's a conflict of interest that you get any of the money from Patreon. So like
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
also why
gonna
you haven't
go
collected any checks.
to the 3 of us.
Why is the recurring bit on this show that I don't get paid?
Probably because you make the most in real life. So we're like,
Sure. But I think I bring equal to the table.
I mean, you, if anything, do more. You were running those servers for a long time.
Yeah, I paid a lot for that.
They were your house.
They bankrupted me.
Yeah, your tenants that still live there, are they upset about all those servers?
that was at my apartment.
Is Jake renting out the house of servers?
No, I'm not, but my old apartment complex is. I think we killed that bit by the time I moved.
I think you're right. Well, what did you guys think about Fast and Furious 6? I'll go first. I liked this definitely less than the previous movie. It was a bummer, honestly. There were so many points in this movie that I was just like, all right, like here we are. I think The Rock, his character was better in the last one than in this one. I thought that Gal Gadot's presumed death that apparently we learn later wasn't a death.
Every death in this franchise
I'm
is
getting
presumed.
really sick of that. I'm getting really sick of presumed deaths
We learn in this one she's not dead?
No, in
No.
a later one.
in a later one.
He's-
Oh, spoilers.
Well, he learned it in 10.
I
so.
learned it in 10, so
So here's the thing, Zach. It's not really a spoiler when you assume that nobody is actually dead. If you don't see them die,
yeah, just
or
as-
even if you
if you see him die.
you see what's her name, Anna Lucia from Lost get shot in Vin's stupid Sherlock Holmes recreation. That didn't really. So does that mean he has a flawed
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes?
No. That because we saw it in this one that is exactly what happened.
No,
He got it right.
I think he shot the fuel tank
He
and not
shot
her.
in the
Oh,
car
that's
exploded.
right.
So he didn't shoot her. In,
He recreated it in his mind incorrectly.
So in all of his superpower recreation, he didn't see that the car exploded.
No.
That's what I was surprised. Because you'd think if the car exploded, there'd be fire marks and burns.
Some
And there'd
Yeah.
probably be some fragments of the car.
Yeah, probably.
There's no way they got all of them.
I mean, not even just the
He's too good.
not even
That's
just
like the
that
best.
movies always get this wrong and cars don't explode like that, but also that this one exploded and left no trace evidence of an explosion.
because
But-
they were using a special fuel.
Yeah, the fact that it left no evidence, but he was able to recreate it, is really
Right.
what's crazy.
Right.
Ben was able to recreate it?
Yeah, almost completely accurately,
Except for the explosion.
except for the
He
last
clearly
bit.
didn't recreate created.
But up until that bit, he nailed
Mhm.
well, that's why he's the best.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about his Brazilian girlfriend that had to just like?
it. Can I tell you something? I feel so much justification and vindication because you guys told me that they were not romantically involved in
You're
the last
right.
movie.
You're
And I'm
right.
like, this is definitely what it is. And then I thought about sending a screenshot of them naked in bed together and saying that's a really weird platonic relationship. like Zach, you're married. If your wife walked in and saw us in bed like that, what would she think? Would she think that's just a couple friends, or would she think my kids have two dads? You know,
I
like
think the two dads thing.
yeah, okay. So I'm pretty justified on this.
You are.
Okay.
You are.
You were right, Jake.
You were right.
I don't understand how you guys think that there's any woman who's able to resist Vin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
I'm
said
aware.
they would?
Yeah, I'm aware.
You guys claimed that they were just friends.
But I thought that was Vin's decision.
Oh, so she
Yeah.
would have loved
Yeah, she
to
would have
have.
done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course she.
That's
would.
fair.
It's Vin
That's fair.
Diesel.
Yeah.
But Vin was like grieving the loss of his wife.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you
He
know.
was-
Wait, is he
Girlfriend,
married?
not
to-
Yeah, I think it was just girlfriend.
What's her
I think
name?
it was a common law marriage.
What's her
Letty.
name in this
Like
movie?
they've been
Letty.
living together
Letty.
for 7 years.
Yeah.
I don't think they can prove anything about them for 7 years. They're fugitives.
Maybe.
Anyways, let's get back to everyone's takes.
Yeah. So how did you guys feel for her having to?
No.
Do we want to do our
let's
takes
just
about
do
the movie?
general
Let's do our
yeah.
takes and
Zach,
then we'll revisit
Zach.
that.
All right.
Let's-
Yeah.
My take,
You go for it.
best one so far.
I
Really?
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I had so much fun with this one.
Yeah.
This was the best one. I'm back on the fast train.
Yes.
I'm very much on it. I didn't think this was as good as the last one.
So much more fun.
Oh man.
So much more fun.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted. This was dumber and took
Yeah.
itself
Oh,
less
way
seriously.
less seriously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Which I love.
So much more fun.
I did love.
Yeah.
This had action, like this had fight choreography. This had some fight scenes. I love that these guys are now like professional martial
Spies.
arts experts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spies.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Do I think this might be the worst movie? I don't know, maybe. Did I enjoy this movie
There's no
the
way
most?
this is worse than
Absolutely.
2F.
Absolutely, I enjoyed this movie the most.
Yeah.
This is the movie I thought we were getting into
Yeah.
when we got into Fast and Furious.
Right.
Which sucks because now Carlos is going to listen to this and he's like, you like the worst one?
yeah.
But
It's all right, Carlos. We're getting him on board.
But I
Take the win, friend.
I had the most fun with this movie that I've had. Like was I watching it and thinking this movie sucks? Yes. But did I have a good time? Absolutely. And that's what I've wanted the entire time we've been watching this.
Best part in any movie I've ever seen is Vin Diesel flying through the
We
air
all know
to
that.
headbutt the other dude. I was like, I very rarely laugh out loud when I watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like almost never.
I loved it.
That happened, and I laughed for like 5 minutes.
That was great. When he launches across the freeway to completely rearrange all of her bones and guts and then like change, not in a weird way, but just change her direction in
Yeah,
air
yeah.
and then
yeah.
tackle her onto a car. I was like, awesome.
And I like
So
how she was
cool.
like, how'd you know a car was going to be there to catch our fall? Like, it doesn't matter whether it was a car or they lived on
Oh,
the
the
street.
concrete.
You
It's
would
still-
both be dead from internal bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was pretty terrific. I did love that she asked that question. It was just the stupidest part of that. And I loved it. I did love it.
They rolled out in a tank, and I was like, they're gonna fight a tank with cars? Yes. They're like, we need a different plan. I was like, you guys gotta run away. But then they nail it. They weigh a tank down with one car in their like go-go gadget super harpoon. It was awesome.
With titanium 10, he was like, I loved that when they introduced that, Tyrese picks it up and Tej goes like grabs it from him and is like, yo, hey, easy, that's titanium tensile strength, like whatever. And I'm like, then why can he hurt it? Like, what are you saying easy
I think he was
about?
telling me to go easy, like not shoot
Yeah, like
somebody.
don't destroy.
Don't let
something.
it hurt something
But
else.
When did Luda become the guy in the chair? Like
Yeah,
he becomes
this movie.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
smart-
I said he was now the
He was
Napster
kind
from
of that guy last
Italian
movie
Job.
too, though.
Yeah, he was kind of the guy in the chair.
He's the
monster.
mechanic,
There's a
I guess,
weird
which makes
zag.
him the smartest.
Yeah.
Well, I get that he's good with cars, but why does that mean he's good with every
Well,
piece of technology?
Because they're
He's-
superheroes now.
Yeah, they are good at anything the movies need them to be good at.
That's true. That's true. And you know what? Like, I will say, like, I do still. Tej is my favorite character.
Love Tej Luda, right?
Yeah.
Love Tej. I loved Tej, and is Roman?
Roman.
I-
Tyrese.
I really liked the Tej and Roman relationship in this.
Oh, interesting.
I thought they were funny. Like I laughed at them, and I mean, obviously,
I'm kind of shocked to hear that right now.
I was shocked to think it.
So the
That
scene.
there was something that the movie intentionally did that actually worked for you.
I thought they were funny. I like it was dumb, but like I loved everybody being mean to him about having a big forehead.
So
So maybe it's because I don't like Roman.
The scene at the end of the movie where Roman says like, "Oh, hide your whatever,
Baby oil.
hide
or
your
whatever.
baby oil," as he's walking up, and he says, "Hide your forehead."
Yeah.
And Luda like spit takes. That was all improv, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, that's way funnier than anything we could have written. Leave it in the movie."
Yeah.
Like The Rock just like came up with that quip in the moment and like thought it was hilarious, said it, and Luda just dies laughing, and they were like, "Yeah, that's in the film."
Good on The Rock. I here's the thing is the weakest thing in this, as with every movie The Rock is in, is I don't like The Rock as an actor. I don't think he's good. I don't want to see him in anything, if I'm honest.
I liked The Rock in this, and I actually like him more as a part of the team
Yeah.
than I do not. And so I liked him a lot more in this movie than I did the last one.
I just missed his one-liners in this one.
Still,
That's what I thought you hated about the last one.
I did in terms of like it's bad movie making, but I loved it in terms of like just being
Enjoyability.
enjoyable, like
Scott,
and stupid.
you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
That's
I
true.
don't even remember him making one-liners in Fast Five.
Oh,
I'll be
it
honest.
it was all of his lines were just little really cheesy one-liners.
Okay.
Like overly
I
cheesy
believe it.
one-liners.
I've
All of his
heard-
dialogue.
That eventually I am gonna get a rock bottom in this, and I can't wait. I still didn't get it in this movie, and I guess you guys won't recognize it when it happens.
Is that a wrestling move?
Yeah,
I-
that's one of
We've
Rock's
talked about
signature
this.
moves.
We've talked about this on the pod.
Well,
It's
I
a-
know, but I don't know the term rock bottom.
Rock
Jake brought
bottom-
it up on the
yeah.
pod.
Did you say?
I said rock bottom.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
had
really?
this.
I said I would like a
Maybe
rock bottom
I-
and a people's elbow.
Was that last episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there.
No, it was you
Oh,
brought up
no.
you missed 5F5F.
Yeah.
And then you brought up 5F5F that
In
episode.
Groundhog Day.
And then
Oh.
we chatted about it a bit, and I brought it up then.
Do you
When you
think
said
our,
rock bottom, I pictured something different. I'll just leave it at that.
do you think our patrons are ever gonna get to see your signature move as Lord of the Dance? Like the clogging of the knuckles.
Yeah, they'll probably have to pay a lot to get somebody that we can pay to let me clock their knuckles.
Yeah, y'all are gonna have to pay me a lot for Jake to clog my knuckles.
I would say
I
if we
thought-
can get 5 patrons at the highest tier, I'll let Jake clog my knuckles.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
You're breaking lore right now.
Wooden clogs are expensive. Just so you know.
that's fine.
All right.
You're buying them.
I
You're
own
Lord of the Dance. We're not
Yeah.
buying them.
No, I own a lot. I just assumed you'd want some fresh ones, but I got
No, give me the dirty ones that have other people's blood on them.
I'll use the ones that I stomped on Lord Farquaad with.
That's perfect. Yeah, yeah, that would be great. That would feel completionist.
Yeah, I just had a ton of fun with this movie. I thought it was like right in the sweet spot. Like it finally like was at the point where, because one of the things you guys had said about a couple of the last ones was they took themselves too seriously. And while I disagreed, like I understood your point, but after watching this, I was like, I don't know how you could make the argument that they're taking themselves seriously with this one.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Like they're definitely not.
And it's what I've been waiting for. Like this movie, I thought I was gonna get 10 of these, you know, and I didn't. Which
Right.
It really disappointed me. Which it sucks that apparently this is an unpopular one because I don't know what that means about going forward. But at least I had this one.
They become they take themselves less seriously from here, from what I've heard.
Perfect. I still hate how Vin thinks about these movies, but what we get is better.
I understand that you guys have had anecdotal experiences where people haven't talked about these movies positively, but this is still a 7 on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
And F9 is like a 5 point something. Like, so this clearly is not everyone's least favorite movie.
True.
Yeah. I just think a lot of people have said like I can't defend it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can't defend any of these movies.
Yeah, but I'm talking about fans of the franchise
Sure.
saying I can't defend this movie and the choices they made.
That's fair.
I just gotta say, I'm so glad that you liked it because I was fully ready to come into this one and be like, I loved it, even though the three of you hated it. Like,
Yeah, and even Jake said it sucks, and it's like it is dumb. It's really dumb and silly, but I don't know if it sucks. Like, if this is just supposed to entertain me, it accomplished its job. And I thought some of the action was like legitimately really fun.
I don't know. I feel like I stand by that. Like, as much as I love Bad Boys sucks, but I love Bad Boys. I think it's very entertaining, but it's
What
cheesy.
makes it suck?
It's so
It's a Michael Bay movie.
it's so cheesy and over and so like I don't know. Maybe I need to rethink what sucks because it is entertaining me, and
Yeah.
that's good. I think that like any bit of dialogue spoken in this movie is super cringe and super weird, and the acting sucks. I think.
yeah, it sucks if it's trying to be a piece of art,
Yeah.
but it's not.
I think just as act like in any they aren't delivering what they want to deliver. So I think
How
they-
do you know?
I guess I'm basing this off of what Vin's opinions of Fast and Furious are.
I think you're basing this off of one statement that Vin Diesel has
No.
made in an interview.
Yeah,
one
I don't know if
time.
Vin and then who did this one? It wasn't Justin Lin, right?
Yeah, this was
Justin
Justin
Lin
Lin.
as well.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought it was James Wan, or did James Wan do the next one?
He's the James Wan is Saw.
No, James Wan also did some Fast and Furious.
No.
No.
Okay, I think you have wrong information. But anyways, I don't think Vin and Justin Lin.
Oh,
are
he did Furious 7.
Yeah, I don't know if they're approaching
7, yeah.
the films in the same way.
We have 3 James Wan films coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of
Did
James Wan.
James Wan did The Conjuring?
He did The Conjuring and Saw.
Am
The
I
Con- I haven't
insane?
seen that. I haven't seen Saw, but The Conjuring is a legitimately good movie. So I think James Wan has an idea of what's good or not. I don't think he's coming into this thinking he's making a piece of art.
You think
Even
The
if
Conjuring
Vin-
is a good movie?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
The
great
Conjuring is a
movie.
great movie.
Well,
I mean, we'll
watch
get
it.
to
I'm gonna have
that.
to watch it again. So
We'll get
You
to
thought
that.
it was
but
like legitimately a bad movie?
I don't.
Oh, that'll be an interesting
I don't.
episode.
I don't particularly like scary movies. The Conjuring is objectively a great film.
I'm not
In my
looking
opinion.
forward to The Conjuring.
I guess I bounce
Maybe-
objectively, in my opinion, off each other. But
yeah, I said that I don't. Yeah, that doesn't track.
I
But
said objectively, and then I walked it back by saying, in my opinion, because I don't want to be too.
I might be thinking of the wrong movie. My girlfriend has made me watch a bunch of terrible scary movies, but The Conjuring is the one with what's that guy's name? He's also in Insidious.
Patrick Wan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Or I'm sorry,
No.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
that's the one where it's a series and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that movie sucks.
I'm hoping
We'll get to it.
I have that same opinion, mostly just because if it does execute on what it's trying to do, I know I'm going to be super afraid, and I hate scary movies. So I'm hoping it's a sucky movie.
it
and I can get past
executes.
it. Yeah, that's
It
it.
executes.
That's all.
It's
Can
very
I-
scary.
I'm gonna
Can
have a
I,
really rough October this year.
Can I
Up
tell
to
you-
this point, I've been able to. We've been able to avoid these types of movies.
I wanna tell you, I will renew my promise on the podcast in full view of our Patreon audience. I will watch The Conjuring with you. I won't make you watch
I
that
appreciate
alone.
that.
And
Scott.
I need to say too, if you switch from Saw to something more mild, you really won't have that tough of an October. Because you and Tyler have the two worst movies in terms of content.
But Saw's more
What are you
slashers.
talking about?
in terms of like scary, what would be tough for
Mine is The Conjuring.
I'm saying you
In-
and Scott have the hardest
Like
Saw.
scary.
Oh,
Like worse
yeah.
for Scott.
for Scott.
Like,
I don't mean
I'm not
objectively.
worried about the
I
thing.
love the Conjuring.
I think the thing's gonna be a stupid.
It's gonna be
movie.
easy. It's gonna be
It's very easy.
So
It's
Scott,
not
for you.
stupid.
And then I switched mine to a comedy.
would you like to hear an insight into me that I don't know that I've vocalized and is probably the dumbest thing about me as to why I stopped being afraid of scary movies?
Huh.
So I had to watch one of these, and I had just had a D&D session, and we fought. It was like a demon, and we fought a demon, and I was like, "Oh, that wasn't scary then. Why is it scary now?" And then I just stopped being afraid of scary movies at that point.
Zach,
That is weird.
Yeah.
I
So
actually,
do that.
I actually have a recommendation for you to
Okay.
change your Spooktober pick
To what?
to a movie that I think we both saw and I think we both thought was really good.
Human Centipede.
It Follows.
I also didn't like that movie.
This is what I'm trying to avoid. Is a situation where I pick a movie that I think is really good, and Jake and Scott just shit all over it.
Here's the thing.
And I have
can-
another Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That one wasn't scary at all. It was just bad.
Zach,
I don't
Zach,
think this is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre made it into my personal post of the 10 best movies I saw last year.
I know, but I still get mad when I
Zach,
think about Jake and Scott.
I do too.
Zach, can I
It's
tell you-
why I
but-
switched from
but-
Hereditary, which I think is a better movie.
Way
than-
better.
Yeah.
I mean, Hereditary might be the best horror movie, most critically acclaimed horror movie of all time.
You picked What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I honestly, that's as much as I hate scary movies, like I didn't like Hereditary. I feel like I could recognize that it's not a terrible movie, and it's not for me. Like that. Like there are some of those, and I think It Follows might be that as well. Change it. Should get rid of What We Do in the Shadows.
Why?
That's a me Spooktober pick, not a Zach Spooktober.
It's
Whoa,
a-
why am I getting flamed for this?
yeah,
You're not
I'm
getting
saying
flamed.
I
You're
fully
not getting
support.
I love that movie.
You're not getting flamed.
I just,
No, I know, but Jake is flaming.
I'm not. I'm just saying like that is the
I'm
Spooktober
not.
pick of
Just change
somebody
your
who
pick.
hates scary movies.
I mean, I disagree. I think it's like a great Halloween time movie. I really like that movie.
You just-
And we haven't done. Taika Waititi has become a huge deal.
You just
in
sound an
Hollywood.
awful lot like me, is all I'm saying. And I don't know that's what you want.
I
Zach,
don't-
I'm in full support.
Okay, I mean, part of it was because I did think it'd be a movie that all four of us would enjoy, myself included. I love that movie.
I do too.
No, I'm like just hearing you guys talk about it. I'm interested in seeing what it is.
Wait, you're What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fun movie.
This is a pretty sick podcast planning session.
Yeah. Well, we've already talked about how Fast 6 is the best thing in the saga, so
Yeah, what else can we say? All right, we can get back to Fast 6. Who didn't work for you guys in this?
You know, I don't know what. When I heard that the villain was named Shaw, I thought that Shaw was Jason Statham. Is
Yeah.
Shaw not Jason Statham?
Did you not watch the after
Did you not?
credits?
no.
No, I've
You
never.
got a warning last
Do
week.
every
Yeah,
single one of
so-
them have an after
I
credits
think
now?
from this point on they probably do.
I think they
I
probably
only
did.
watched
Tyler told us that there was one last one, so I made sure to check to see if there was one in this one.
Okay.
And there was.
What was it?
It
Do
was
you want me to
Jason
spoil
Statham?
it?
Yeah, just do it.
It's you guys should actually just
I'll go
watch
back
it
and
because
watch it,
it's
but tell me.
it's actually pretty interesting.
I'll go back and watch it for sure. But we're doing this episode.
So it reveals that it's very laughable. It reveals that Jason Statham is Shaw's brother,
okay.
and he was the one in Tokyo that led to Han's death,
He-
and it was retribution.
Han's death was a hit. It wasn't a part of the because it was in Tokyo Drift. It looked like they were in the chase and just a car ran a red light and hit him,
Uh-huh.
like as a part of them breaking traffic laws.
Uh-huh.
It was revealed that it wasn't. It was a hit by Jason Statham, the brother of the villain in this movie.
And
Okay.
it was so awesome. I'm so excited for the next
Well,
one.
I can't imagine a more stupid hit to pull.
I figured that Statham was gonna be this one's brother because at one point The Rock or someone mentioned his brother
Right.
in this
Yeah.
movie, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how it.
Uh-huh.
And then at first when he said Shaw and then it wasn't Jason Statham, I was like, did they recast this character?
So
That's what I thought originally too.
And then I went and looked and they have different first names. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Shaw didn't work for me because I was expecting Jason Statham, but also I don't think Shaw worked for me as the villain of this movie.
That's
Um,
okay. So Shaw, that's one reason I actually think this movie is legitimately better than some of the other ones, is because this is the first time we have like an actually somewhat interesting villain.
Yeah, I like fake Orlando Bloom a lot.
I
Yeah.
like fake Orlando Bloom a ton.
We finally
Low rent
have a kind of
Orlando Bloom.
cool villain in this movie.
Uh-huh.
The lesser known Evans brother.
Yeah, Bizarro Paul Walker.
Do you want to know
Like their whole squad was like the Bizarro
Yeah.
squad. Yeah.
what I think is about these movies about this movie that bothered me and maybe bothered me about the villain is they were like, oh, respect, like anybody who knows about cars is the smart guy and anybody who doesn't know about cars is the dumb guy in this movie. And I just can't get on board with that for some reason. So when he's like, show them your respect, they're car guys, he lost me. Like that's not what he said exactly, but that was the implication. And that lost me.
Well, that's not what he said. He said, show them the respect. They almost just busted our heist.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
All right.
It had nothing to do with cars.
I feel like that was what the
It was the
implication
fact that they
was.
almost got stopped.
Yeah, just because they drive fast.
Because he said that before he even revealed who they were.
No, I think they had gone through the whole team at that point.
I actually will. There was someone who didn't really work for me, and it was Gina, whatever her name is, the double agent.
Was that Gina Carano?
Yeah,
I was
Yes.
from Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated her character in this.
There's
I
a
didn't like her at
very
all.
and it finally made sense that she was actually a bad guy because her whole existence made zero sense up until that point. But it was a really underwhelming reveal. And she was a really whatever.
It was I saw it coming. As
really?
soon as the movie started, I was like, "There's gonna be a traitor. It's gonna be her." Like,
I
there's
just
always a
thought
traitor.
The Rock needs a female counterpart for some reason. This is like
Mhm.
built into his contract or something.
I gotta be honest, I watched the whole movie. I got to that reveal and I was like, wait, how did we ever even introduce her? Like, she's just been wallpaper in this movie to me
Yeah.
the entire
Uh-huh.
time.
Yes.
Like, I totally forgot her introduction. Like, I'm like, why do I care?
She
even
just-
that she's the.
Well,
It was in the Rock's
Traitor.
introduction. She was just walking by.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it was just so like.
Forgettable.
It was so forgettable that like I got to the reveal and I'm like, why do I even care about you being the traitor? Like,
And her
I just-
whole fight with Letty made zero sense.
That's what I was
Yeah.
laughing. I was like, okay, well, Letty didn't know she was a traitor because like he
Yeah,
didn't reveal
right.
that to their squad,
right.
but she definitely knew Letty was there. Like you would have thought, like
Yeah.
she would have like let her go or something. Like,
Right.
She was so devoted to staying like hidden that she just fought someone who was on her team.
Do
Yeah.
you want to know what made
And
less
it wasn't
sense?
sorry,
Oh.
it wasn't the whole cover or anything. Like there were other people there, like from the family.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, like,
it was
there
just
was-
a little
It
bit.
had nothing to
She
do
could
with
have just
cover.
let
Yeah.
Letty go.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Totally.
But what made the least amount of sense for me was when Vin was like, "We're gonna bring a team together, and they're gonna come because they need to get Letty back because she's family." And two of those people know who Letty is.
Okay, can I say like that? You touch on something that I also thought is that Dom calls these people his family. He barely knows Ludacris or Tyrese.
Yeah. No.
But their family, their I'm actually going to defend this because
Okay.
it's something it's the one thing of this whole franchise that I actually get, the concept of chosen family. And like there are people that you guys have like fully integrated into our group that you had no context from other than that I introduced them. And like we just like, okay, yeah, no, like they're a part of the group now.
Yeah, I think my question is more their motivation when he's like, "Show them why we're doing this," and then they put down a picture of Letty, and I'm sure half of them are like, "I've never seen this woman." Like maybe I can see that they'll get on board with Vin asking them to do this, but for them to just be shown a picture of Letty who they've never met and be like, "We got to do this." I'm like, "What is this? You've never met?"
But I assume that I guess I just take on faith that like Paul has explained or that Brian has explained to Roman that like, oh yeah, part of Dom's thing is I got his wife killed.
I feel like Tyrese is the only one who didn't actually meet her.
I don't think Gal Gadot met her.
Yeah,
I don't think
she
that-
was that. She was working
Yeah.
for Braga when she was one of the drivers.
Oh yeah, so she knew her as an antagonist and not as Dom's friend.
Ludacris wouldn't have known her either.
Ludacris
if-
wouldn't have met
if
her.
Tyrese didn't.
Would
Yeah,
Han
Ludacris
wouldn't
was in
have-
the first movie.
No,
No,
he
he
wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No,
He wasn't. He was only in
he was
2,
only in 2.
and he
Han-
was not in 4.
Han wouldn't have met her. The
Well,
Was
but
it Letty
Vin,
in
Vin,
2?
and,
Oh, no,
Vin
no.
and Han have a history, so I did assume that Han maybe did.
Oh no, Han did
Yeah.
meet her. Han met her.
Yeah.
They were in a scene together.
Oh, that's right. In
The,
Fast
uh,
Five.
They helped
the-
break him out.
Who else came? Were the Hispanic guys in this movie, or were they?
Yeah, but
they weren't in this.
They
movie,
weren't in the
though.
crew.
Yeah, okay.
We saw them at one point.
I feel like most of the crew, maybe half of the crew, wouldn't have met her, or
Yeah,
at
it's
least
so
wouldn't
funny.
have experienced her as a friend.
Which, by the way, it's so funny that you brought that up because in the opening credit sequence, they show the Hispanic 2 guys, and then they're in the opening credit sequence with a scene from their because they do like a in the opening credit sequence, it's like a
Cutbacks
catch
to
up,
all the others.
cutbacks to
Yeah.
everything
Oh, yeah.
else to like catch you up, and they like show them in the opening credit sequence, and then they just have a cameo.
I don't even remember their cameo in this, to be honest.
They were just sitting at a bar talking, and Dom comes up,
Oh,
and, he's
yeah.
like, and they're like, "Oh, you have all this money now, or
Oh,
whatever."
That was the Tej.
or Tej, yeah. Tej
Oh,
comes
and
up
then it shoots out of the
Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
baller move.
yeah.
the bank teller or whatever,
Uh-huh,
the
yeah.
ATM machine. I liked the Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12 aspect of this movie where we see everyone with their money now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of fun.
It was funny. I was talking with Tyler at work this week, and if you would have come out strong against this movie,
Yeah.
I was gonna say something like how this did it better than Oceans. I don't agree with that. I was just gonna do it to yeah.
Just
But
to
it was
hurt you,
because-
I think is what Scott was about to say.
It was because he had made a Napster joke, and I was like, no, Tej is more like Basher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the tech, or I don't know, Basher and Linus, just like a not cool, or just like a cooler Linus.
Cooler Linus, I think more Basher. Like Basher can do a lot of the tech that Linus can do. He's
Linus
just a
can-
little bit more tactical, a little bit more.
I feel like I thought Basher was just the blow stuff up guy.
Linus doesn't do any tech. Are you talking about the other guy? The actual
Oh
tech guy?
yeah,
Maybe I'm confusing Linus and the guy
He's
that's
talking-
sweaty.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
the guy.
what-
Yeah,
That's
Linus
not-
is
that's
Matt
not
Damon.
Linus, who's the guy? What's that guy's name?
his
Yeah.
name is doesn't matter.
We've talked about Oceans a lot.
Yeah, it's the guy that.
But you're
pokes
right.
his feet.
Livingston Dell.
Yes,
Livingston.
yeah.
Livingston Dell.
Luda is kind of like a combination of Basher and Livingston.
Yeah. So all that being said, I love this movie. It was a lot of fun. I hope the rest are like this. It looks like they do start getting rated poorly again. So,
I
Right,
hope the
I
rest
hope
are
so.
like this so bad.
but if nothing else, all of this leading up to this was worth it for me because we finally got to this like fun movie.
I agree. This one was so much fun, and I think, just the most engaged in this fast film more than I've been in any other fast film prior. I
I
was just locked in the entire movie.
I don't know that I agree that what was leading up to this was worth it. I wish I could have just started here. Honestly, like I don't feel like there's a lot
I
going
know.
on.
I feel like it
needed-
was the ache of all these
I-
other ones.
I
that
did
led
that
me.
for you
Yeah.
with Mission Impossible.
Yeah, honestly, that was honestly perfect Mission Impossible experience.
Because you'd question me in a previous episode, like, why did we start at 4? And I was like,
Yeah, no, I came in at the beginning. If I didn't, I do now. I fully apologize for questioning it because I think that was the right call.
I remember hearing you say that and thinking like, he'll learn eventually. But no, I'm glad that I have the full picture. I needed the development of the family.
Yeah, I'm glad we're finally into the mythology.
I'll be honest. I think I would have been
Me
able to
too.
buy the movie more if I hadn't seen the previous ones because I don't think the family's developed. I feel like they don't know each other that well, and especially some of them. And some of their motivations get called into question more having
It's,
seen
just,
the movie.
I
it's funny to me
agree,
that you
but-
hold that position because you always talk about how less is more. You don't want to be ham-fisted like stuff, and that's what this is. It's like you just assume they've been hanging out for years, like they're doing lots of stuff off screen. This is just one of their adventures.
I just assume, based off of everything that was given to me, that they have never met each other because there's no reason to think that they have.
Other than that, he talks about them as family and like,
Yeah, I mean, like I could write a movie and say, "Oh yeah, you definitely know each other," built on the backs of. It would be like, I'm trying to think of a good. What this feels like is more like, you remember when I think they bring in Ant-Man and Ant-Man has never met anybody in Infinity War,
Yeah.
and then he's introducing himself to everybody. It would be like if instead of that, Captain America was like, "This is family. This is the guy who I love and would die for." And we have never seen them interact, even though we've had a million opportunities to see them interact. We just haven't.
we've seen Vin Diesel interact with all these people.
But that's not the issue that I'm taking. It's the other people and their relationship to each other.
Yeah, but it's Vin Diesel as the head of the family saying this person is important.
Well,
And-
and
Like I
they-
think
and
there
they
are
all
some
say-
of them that are closer than
He-
others.
Here's the thing:
And they
is,
all say, Vin loves me like family, therefore I love this other person like
okay,
it's like the transitive property.
I
of
could buy that.
relationships.
I could buy that. But let's say, and you know, I'm even going to give a little more credit.
Okay.
You guys, you are my best friends in the world. We hang out all this time. I assume you guys would do a lot for me. And then let's say, Carlos is in trouble, who
Yeah.
I've talked about.
Yeah.
You guys know who Carlos is.
yeah, it's a top.
And
His family.
he's in trouble and he needs help. And then there's some other external person who we all know, Remy, let's say. Remy gathers us all together. And I say,
I
Remy.
love that you're building our
We
family.
have a mythology.
family
Yeah.
right now.
And I say, Remy, show them why they need to do this for me. And he just shows you a picture of Carlos. You'd be like, what is this? Like if I said, I need you guys to help me. If I said, I need you guys to help me help Carlos because I love him, so you should love him. I could see that, but there's none of that.
I feel like
And
you're
Remy's like, just tell me when and where, Jake.
Yeah.
Carlos, who
Yeah.
has amnesia.
Yeah, like that.
I feel like you're greatly not giving benefit that they probably knew who this was.
I think that we
was-
can say pretty definitively.
Like,
I
I
don't think we
don't-
need to bog down the podcast with this, with me giving my reasons, but I think we can say pretty definitively that they haven't, because Vin met these people presumably after Letty was dead. Most of them.
No, it'd
do
be
you
more
think
like
that
if a
there's-
new went missing for a couple years, and then you asked Carlos to help with getting her back.
But Carlos has met a new.
Do you think that,
Yeah, I think they've met Letty.
look,
No, Vin's been on the run. He hasn't
Look.
even been back to America.
do you
Well, but
really
they
think
jump time so much that we can't know.
and
We
they
just
travel
have to-
so much. Do you think that there's no time in Fast Five where they have some downtime and Tyrese is like, so Dom, like you got a girlfriend, and like he tells him his story.
Dom didn't have a smartphone. Dom's not like pulling up pictures of Letty and being like, "This is Letty. You'll know who she is by sight."
Well, he may have had a picture in his wallet. or
Once
something.
again, they're not going to give us all that. What a crappy movie that would be.
No, I don't think I just don't think it happened. I don't believe that it happened. I don't think we need to spend any more time on
As
this.
the person who's like, don't have this stuff, let me just imagine and get things, and I can take it to the next level. You're like very much like, I want to see him on Instagram.
No.
I want to see him scrolling your picture.
That's not what I'm saying. You guys are just
explaining to every
you guys are just giving it too much credit. You guys are giving it credit for things that just would never have happened. So I'm refuting it. I don't need to see that. I just need to see any evidence that they would know each other.
If it did not happen on screen in Jake's mind, it never
It's
happened.
No,
not canon.
this
It's
is
not
four disparate groups of people who have never met Letty. We have no reason to
How do
believe
you
they
know?
because she's been gone. She's been gone the whole time.
She's been gone since 5.
No, she's been gone since 3. She wasn't in 2. She was missing in 3 and dead. So she didn't meet anybody but Gal Gadot, and Gal Gadot didn't know she was related to Vin because she hadn't even met Vin at that point.
I think that I think that pictures of people existed before smartphones. Like I think that
Yeah,
Dom
also,
probably
this is
had a picture
2013.
of
This
Letty.
isn't that long ago.
Dom, do you think that Dom has pictures that he's carrying around? I doubt it.
I'm sure he has a Facebook.
You think that Dominic Toretto's on Facebook?
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
No! He's
Yes.
a fugitive. You think he's updating Facebook?
Yes.
I think he has a Facebook that has pictures of Letty on it.
Yeah, 100%. They've been together since they were 15. You think Dominic Toretto has not a single picture?
He's probably got a MySpace too.
I think he has pictures. I don't know if he's on Facebook.
There's no way he's on Facebook. He's been a fugitive since 2004. When did Facebook come out?
I don't know.
like 2006, 7. It got popular.
Yeah.
He's got a Facebook.
He's got MySpace for sure. He's got. I agree with Zach.
He's in a
got
country that
MySpace.
doesn't.
If Dominic is a total boomer by the time MySpace comes out. He's like beating dudes to death with wrenches.
No,
You think he's
they're-
getting that in prison?
They're young in the first movie. They're not.
How old is he supposed to be?
like 22
They're in their
or
20s.
How old was Vin Diesel in that movie? Because Vin
Like
Diesel was
10
probably
years
40.
older than that.
Good. Yeah, just a few years older. Like he's not that old.
Vin Diesel has looked that age his whole life.
Forever. Yeah.
He has.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No.
it's he looked old when he was young, and he looks young now. I
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
So maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, in the first movie, he was a young man. I guarantee you, Dominic Toretto had a MySpace, and that Letty was in his top 8.
I love that this is what we're talking about.
It's crazy to me that he's like, there's no way. It's like so much context does not happen on screen.
No, but
I love
but all
that.
of the context we're given for all of these people is that they are completely separate. Letty's not in. We meet Roman. We meet Tej in a movie that Letty's not in. Roman and Tej do not know Vin until the 4th movie, I think, and it just
But-
doesnn make any sense.
But you're what you're forgetting is that they all come together and they all become family in this last movie in 5.
When Letty's dead.
When Letty is presumed to be dead, which
Yeah.
is a big part of the plot. So of course that conversation is going to come up with the crew. And then to find out that Letty is alive is like that was the big motivation, emotional motivation for everything in 5. And so for this in 6 to be like immediately like, oh, Letty's alive, it makes sense that this crew would have an emotional vested interest in that.
I'll
Here's
concede
a
for the
real life
sake
example.
of the podcast. I will concede.
Here's just a little sample. So say Carla died, or I
Okay.
thought she died.
Okay.
3 years goes by, and I'm like, guys, I'm assembling a crew because I got a job for us, and I pull in some friends from when I was a kid that have never met Carla,
But here's
but they were my best friends at the time, and I know that they still care about me, and they would like be a part of something like this. And I bring them together. Even if you guys are meeting for the first time, it's the fact that you're in a relationship with me
But
that you're a part of the family. It's not
It's
your
not-
guys'
can I be
relationship
honest with you?
to
My
each
big
other.
beef is that nobody said this is Letty, this is Dominic's girlfriend. So because like you would have to say, hey guys, I haven't seen you since I was a kid. This is my wife Carla. Here is a photo of her. Like that's that.
I wouldn't have to say that.
But they don't know her. They've never met her.
But
If I showed them a picture, they have seen a picture, they would know who it is.
they
I
have
promise
seen
you.
a picture.
Huh.
Like just like how could you not? You know,
Maybe.
like there
I said
there-
I'll concede this for the
there-
sake of the podcast.
there are people that I've never met. Okay, perfect example. They might be a listener, they might not. Sarah, who Scott and I graduated high school with. I saw her recently and she was talking about her husband. I've never met her husband before. I haven't been in relationship with her like at all. Like we haven't been friends since high school really. But I can explain what her husband looks like to a sketch artist.
Yeah,
And
I've
I've never met the man.
I've already conceded for the sake of the show a while ago. I don't think that these people are on Facebook. Maybe Tom has a photo of her in his wallet, but I feel like he probably lost it in his rough life.
I think he's on Facebook. I think he's on all of the socials.
I enjoyed
He's
the
on
movie.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I will say it's the main way for anyone who's out there looking to commit crimes. The main way that criminals get caught is social media.
Yeah, but Vin hasn't been caught yet.
It's what police go to first. Like
Sure.
a crime's been committed, the first thing they go to is everyone, not just their social, but everyone in their life's social. So what we're like assuming is that like these people who have like they have spent time together, they have like a bond together, that they don't follow mutuals.
Did they do that in like 2006 when the last time John was
I
on
did.
the run? I don't.
I
think-
mean, I
bet you cops
was
weren't
on
doing that.
social media at this
I
time.
bet you cops weren't doing that.
Yeah, they were.
You think?
Yes, I know. I literally know for a fact.
Huh.
Like
I've already conceded. I'm ready to move past it.
I know it's just
All
been
I
a
know is
fun.
Zach.
It's been a fun.
What did you guys think of the really big buff villain?
Oh, fake rock.
Yeah, but he was way bigger.
I don't remember.
He made The Rock look small.
Which, but in turn,
Well-
made Vin Diesel look ridiculous when he headbutted him as
The
a,
flying
as a
headbutt.
human missile. When he did the Arrested Development, throw me.
Yeah.
The only thing that
I
would have
thought
been
that was
better
awesome.
was if Vin put on like a metal helmet before he did that.
The flying headbutt made me think of that guy as such a little girl now that he just doesn't seem that big compared to anyone else.
Well, that's just how tough Vin is.
Yeah.
But the guy was still huge.
He was
Yeah,
big.
he was
guy
pretty young.
huge.
He was
pretty
big,
big.
but he was dumb.
Even
Yeah.
Letty put him in his place with that sick burn that she had.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
100%. Like he was a big dumb
He's a
muscle.
meathead.
Yeah, he was a meathead.
Also, did you guys think like I was trying to think about that conversation through Dom's perspective where he meets Letty again, but he hasn't been told that she's lost her memory.
Right.
How confusing.
When she shoots him?
No,
No,
after.
After.
So like right before
After the
our
race,
opening
right?
clip. Right before
Yeah.
right before our opening clip when they have that chat. How confused must he have been when she's just like, she's just talking so generally. And why doesn't she say like I lost my memory? I would have walked out of that conversation being like, what's
You
going on?
realize
Yeah.
you realize Paul Walker never told him, right?
He did. He told him
He
when
did
he came
tell
out.
him. Yeah, he told him.
No, he
But-
was about to tell him.
but
He said
Vin
that was
already
for
knew.
you.
Yeah.
Like he never actually.
But I
told
thought
him.
Vin already knew at that point.
I
No,
thought that they
So
told him.
no, Paul comes back from the prison experience
Right.
and says, "Dude, I found out what happened to her." And
Yeah,
he
you're
goes,
right.
"He goes, that's for you. Don't tell me." Like he said, that was for you. The rest
This
of
is
it
he
is
the
for
did.
rest
her.
is for her.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Like he never. He just was like, "Yeah."
So he's probably still confused as to why she's acting weird now that they're back in LA.
Oh,
That's something I didn't think about.
Yeah.
I thought he found out eventually.
What did you guys think about the like them returning back to the home from one?
I thought their
did,
other home
yeah.
was way nicer, but it was good.
Their one in Rio.
Yeah,
I would
like-
have thought they spent some of their millions on just fixing it up a little bit. But
Yeah.
maybe this is like first night back or something.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. Is like, really, like you have all this money, you really care about this house that much?
I
Yeah.
guess.
I don't know.
I mean, this flop house, this
Yeah.
like basically frat house that
like East LA.
yeah.
I'll be honest, it like even as little sense as it makes, it feels like the most appropriate thing.
That's
Okay,
true.
yeah,
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 no,
yeah,
it
yeah.
absolutely. You're
I-
right.
like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Buster brought
I
me
did
back.
kind of like it. Like it was kind of, I don't know. I kind of like when they bring things, when anyone brings something from a previous movie back in
Mhm.
some way. So it was fun.
Can we
I
talk
like it.
about? There's one thing we haven't touched on:
We're running out of time.
the
so.
length. Well, you know who else was running out of time? That plane to take off
Oh, yeah,
on the
yeah.
25-minute long runway.
Uh-huh.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That I had seen the memes when this movie came out about how long the runway was, and I thought it can't be that bad, right? And it was worse than I thought it was going to be.
But it was so fun. That was
Oh,
like
for
some
sure.
of the most fun parts of the movie.
I didn't think about it until maybe 15 minutes into that sequence, and they were like halfway
They started
through.
taking off.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, they're going at least 150, 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's like a, probably like what, like a 20, 25 mile long runway that
Oh,
they were
yeah.
on.
Did
yeah.
you guys miss the amount of like car stuff? That was in this
No.
movie?
No.
Oh,
I'm-
I figured you probably didn't. Jake,
I'm not a
but,
car
like,
guy.
Tyler, I think that's been something that you've enjoyed about some of the other movies. There was really only one race in this, right?
Yeah, in general, I would say that all the car stuff in this was not as good as the last one. The last one had way better car features.
Mm-hmm.
The only car thing in this that I thought was like fun or funny at all was at the very end. They're back at the house and they're talking about Brian and Mia's son, and that his first car is either going to be a
Yeah.
Charger or a Challenger. I can't remember what Dom says because he drives both throughout this franchise, Chargers and Challengers. And then Brian saying that it's got to be a Lancer basically. I was like,
So
Yeah.
What about-
Dom must be devastated that they discontinued that. No, that military enlistment is so low. Nobody's there to buy the Challenger anymore.
That's right. Yeah, the only people who ever bought those cars were
18-year-olds who just joined the
18-year-olds in the Marines. They bought all of the Chargers and all of the new Mustang stock.
And Camaros.
Yeah, and Camaros.
They're like, wow, this signing bonus is gonna last forever.
What about the street race to get to the birth of Paul Walker's son?
I was pretty checked out of the movie by that point.
That was at the very
This is
beginning.
the opening of the movie.
I know. I was
You
pretty
were
checked
already
out.
checked
I was
out.
pretty checked out.
You were like, "Ah, this is good."
That's like the first thing.
He's like, yeah, like when did you check in?
I didn't. The reason why I liked the movie is because I was checked out the whole
Oh,
time.
so you were just looking at your phone and it was playing in the background.
Yeah.
So okay, I actually have a question. So Paul Walker goes to prison,
Yeah.
and then he learns about Letty in prison.
Yeah.
And
Well,
something.
Braga doesn't tell him anything.
Braga told him the whole story.
Braga-
All he tells him is like,
I think he tells him about Shaw, right? A little bit. But
all he says
nothing
is
useful.
If Shaw wants you there, like if you're there, he
He's
wants
t-
you.
Yeah,
there.
nothing actionable for sure.
It
yeah,
felt
it's
like
when he's there that we hear the story about how he shot the gas tank
Gas
and it
tank
blew up,
and-
and then she had lost her memory, and that Shaw was actually going to finish the job.
He doesn't-
But Paul is the
narrate
only
that.
one who benefits from that
He-
story.
He
apparently.
doesn't narrate that, but we see that
We
scene
see
in that
it.
time.
So you assume it was
Oh,
narrated
got
to him.
it.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, but as we've established, Paul's the only one that benefits from that story.
Because I remember thinking like, wait, what did he learn in prison? Because he comes back and he's like, man, I learned so much.
Just that Letty lost her memory, and that's why she's working
Got
for
it.
the bad guys. And we learn why Shaw's a bad guy.
Okay.
I feel like before we get into final ratings, we should name the Vin Diesel signature move of the flying headbutt. Do you guys have any good ideas for?
You think I would have thought about that?
Yeah,
I would call it the Zenadine.
the Zinedine.
Zenadine's and a dad.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what's
I
up
like
there.
There was
Wow.
there was a really old cartoon of a guy. This is why I thought.
Well,
I
what
couldn't
does
put
it
on a
mean?
video.
Explain it then.
It was a super famous moment where professional soccer player, footballer Zenadine Zenadad headbutts another player in the chest.
Oh yeah, I don't.
I do know that moment. I didn't know his name.
Zenadine Zenadad.
I would call it the Adamant.
Nice. That's
because
solid.
Adam,
Yeah.
that's he just had
Uh-huh.
that stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's a solid ref.
I don't get that ref, but I'm
I don't
also,
either.
also good with
These
that.
headbutt refs are
Yeah,
lost
you
on
guys,
me.
you
It's
didn't watch a lot of
1950s cartoon.
Yeah, you didn't watch a lot of Hanna-Barbera
Alright.
on Boomerang growing up.
Definitely did not.
I'm gonna
That's
give
what I
this
watched.
one 8.1 Adamants.
Wow, that was more than I thought any of these was gonna get.
You really give this an 8.1.
Yep.
I'm gonna give this a 6.7. At flying headbutts.
I think you need to defend that 8.1 a little bit.
I feel like we just talked the whole time about how I loved it.
Yeah, but like, what did you give Bad Boys? You love Bad Boys, but you probably gave that in the 6s.
No, I gave it in the 7s. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So you
I
think
just-
that there was like objective value that would necessitate an 8.1 in this movie.
Yes.
So what did you rate Fast 5?
7.6.
Okay.
I would love to show these two lines back to back to a film bro where Scott has rated Doctor Strangelove 5.8 and then Fast 6 8.1,
Yeah.
and then just watch them have an aneurysm.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Zach.
I mean, geez, I feel like I was the second most positive person in this movie, and I was going to give it a 6.6. Let's stick with 6.6. I'll give it 6.6. Zinedine Zinedad's.
Tyler.
Yeah, I was gonna give this a 6.9. Big baldies fighting.
I'm in shock. I'm more in shock over this than when Scott rated There Will Be Blood 5.8.
I am
Hey,
too.
There's
Blood
no
is
way.
I'm
crazy.
Go back and listen to that episode, and there's no way.
But like, this is just
No,
this is an insane thing to do. Like, I'm gonna talk to Molly and Kimberly. I'm gonna have them figure out what else you've given in the 8s or like
I can show
around
you right
8.1. Yeah, we're already over an hour.
Oh gosh.
So like, just to be like, Scott rated this 1 point lower than Braveheart is probably, or not even 1 point lower than Braveheart, if I had to guess.
You think he gave
What you give
Other things.
exactly
Other
this.
things I've given 8.1. The Last Castle.
Wow, Scott had a huge streak of 8.1s.
Perks. 42. North by Northwest.
So
Open Range. And 3 Billboards.
the exasperated sigh from Tyler when he finds out you gave North by
North-
Northwest the same.
You think this
score
movie is as
Fast
good as North by Northwest?
I didn't like North by Northwest.
But Northwest is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Says people that like it.
Says most people.
That's not me.
I've yelled a lot on this episode.
This has been a very yelling episode for
Yeah,
you.
you need to check your blood pressure.
You know what I was thinking on the way here, though? I haven't yelled in a while on the podcast, and I think it's funny
Nice.
when I yell. So I'm glad.
I stand by
Oh,
it.
I
it's
did this.
very funny. This is good content.
You know, Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb agree with us. You know, Rotten
They don't
Tomatoes
agree
gave
with
it
you,
71.
though.
No, but it's our average.
They agree with.
They agree with
collectively.
me, Jake, and Zach.
No, they agree with our collective.
We're
If I did it,
closer.
you guys would all be under.
We're closer to them than you are.
Yes.
Well,
by a
to be
lot.
fair, I'm the closest.
Yeah, but like the three of us are pretty grouped together.
Fairly grouped.
And then, collectively, I would say that we rated this about the same.
Yeah, a little under, but about the same.
Yeah, and then Scott,
Gave it a full point
Scott,
higher.
you gave it more than a full point higher.
No,
I'm sorry.
71 to 81.
Yeah. This, wow.
We disagree with them all the time.
Yeah, no.
I
it's
just,
true.
I
It's
don't
true.
know that I've disagreed with you harder. Is the thing.
What about last week where we disagreed by 3 points?
You know, I can see. Like, I was so unsure about that movie when I watched it that if you didn't like it, I can see not liking it, and I knew you weren't gonna like that, and I knew you were gonna rate it low,
And
like the
you-
Philistine you are.
And you do like if I'm the highest rater by average, you've got to be the lowest rater, Scott.
I'm
right?
one of the lowest raters, yeah.
If we were gonna do some statistical analysis based on this, they would throw you out
This would be
as
an
an
outlier.
outlier. Like
This
that,
would be an
you would not be
outlier.
included.
Just this movie among Scott's other movies would probably be an outlier.
Yeah, this is nuts. Play as
You know,
hell.
I know. I gotta say, I am still happy that Scott has the ability to shock us. Still,
Yeah, me
4
too.
seasons
I
in.
love it. I
Yeah,
love
you know
it.
what I was just
I'm not
thinking the other
mad
day
at all.
is
I'm
how
not mad. I am astounded, but I'm not upset.
I was thinking how predictable Scott is based off of 2 movies we've done this month, Doctor Strangelove and what we're doing next week. I thought, man, Scott's too predictable. I know exactly what he's going to say about these. But you blew me away. Did I say the title Raging Bull, or did
No.
I not know what we're doing?
We don't.
I thought Zach was going to say it. so I
Yeah,
didn't say
it's
it.
all right. It's all right.
I mean, I probably would have, but then we just hard cut.
It's all good.
Yeah,
we were overtime and
that episode was all over the place.
it was a fun out.
It was fun.
Thanks,
It was fun.
Patreon.
Thanks, Patreon.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
I forgot we were talking to them. That was something Carlos said to me. He was